Coming up on Shamwari Untamed, the leopard adapts well to his new surroundings.
Your plunge is down, so he should go down quite soon.
Johan performs surgery on a buffalo. An extraordinary elephant sighting. And the team receives devastating news.
One of the neighbouring reserves had 3 rhino posts.
Recently, the team introduced a new male leopard onto Shamwari to improve the genetic diversity of the resident leopard population. The leopard has been released into a temporary enclosure in order to habituate him to the area before he's released onto the main reserve.
Being responsible for the leopard program on Shamwari, that means I also have to monitor the animals. This can be very difficult because a leopard is by nature an elusive animal and also due to the preferred habitat and dense vegetation that it lives in. We've put a satellite tracking device on this new leopard just to facilitate the monitoring process. Early morning, we want to see if that leopard's still in the boma, but also what we want to do is make sure that the satellite is working properly. There we go. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. If you look at the computer, you can see here's the holding facility that it's in, and there is the last location when he was spotted. What we can also do is go back here. You got your longitude and your latitude of that signal, and then here would be the list of all the locations the satellite has taken since we switched the collar on, which is perfect. But the best part about it is that this collar has both the satellite capabilities but also the normal VHF. So in other words, if we get to within a rough location of where the last signal was and given to us on the map, we can then, with the tracking equipment, track down the animal to his precise location, even if he's moved, say, in the last hour since we had a signal. Knowing that he's still in the enclosure is not enough. I now need to go physically and check that he's doing okay. When we brought him in, we put him in with the carcass, but it's now time to feed again, so this will be the first time that we're feeding him. It's a process that we have to do very carefully and quietly, but what I also want to try and do is try and get him used to a stimulus when he gets food. And the reason for that is if he gets out of the reserve, he's in danger because there are some areas around that are still stock farms. So we'd like to be able to get him back as quick as possible. So we blow the whistle, he associates that with the fact that there's food and he'll come closer. Okay, so we'll just blow the whistle from a long way off so it's not too loud for him, just so he can start getting used to the idea. And then quietly go and see what we can do. Okay, you can see this area is a little bit overgrown. Creates a nice little wild feeling for the leopard. Monitoring a leopard in the introduction phase while he's still in the enclosure is quite a delicate task. You don't want to over-monitor him to the point where he gets familiar with human contact, But at the same time, you still need to be there to try and habituate him and also make sure he's in good health and doing well. You know, even the thud of the meat hitting the ground will be something he'll get used to. So I think let's quietly move away, and we'll come back in about 5-10 minutes to see how long it's taking. If I stay here, he'll never come out to get the meat because he's still new in the boma. So I've put a GoPro out to see what happens. Generally speaking, we'll feed him smaller portions more often for a couple of reasons. Being in an enclosed environment, he'll start getting fat because he's not doing too much exercise in there. So smaller pieces more often, but also the more often we do it, the more chance we got of habituating him. So we're just going to relax here for a few minutes and then go and check. Right, let's go see. Okay, brilliant. Meat's gone. Let's let him sit quietly and eat his food and not interrupt him any more than this.
Cape buffalo are widely spread over southern Africa. Unfortunately, most buffalo are carriers of foot and mouth and corridor disease. These diseases have little to no effect on the buffalo itself, but prove fatal to livestock when infected. Since these diseases spread easily, buffalo which are not carriers are highly sought after. These disease-free buffalo cannot be mixed with other buffalo, and therefore their numbers are low. Shamwari's initial disease-free herd was too small to survive the lion's keen hunting skills. None of the herd's offspring survived, and they had to be moved to the safety of a breeding camp to strengthen in numbers. This breeding program proved very successful, and buffalo can now be moved back to the main reserve.
We've already moved some buffalo bulls back to the reserve. These bulls are very aggressive and they learn to survive the lions without any problems. We hope that additional buffalo released back to the reserve will join these bulls and have a better chance of survival. There's 2 bulls in the breeding area we're looking for. We need to remove a growth from the face of one of the bulls, and another bull need to be moved back to the main reserve. Anya, our animal monitor, will be helping me today. She knows the animals extremely well, and she's of big help if we have to find a specific animal. Okay, plunge is down. Should go down quite soon. Waar's die ander bulle? Sy ook hier in die vrat aan, hè?
Hy behoort hier te wees, ja.
Go a bit closer. You can see he's getting quite affected now. Okay, Bruce, we're going to take our chance and dart the other one as well, eh?
Okay, copy that.
If they run, we're going to follow the other one, and you must follow this one, but he's going to go down right at the vehicle here. Right, okay. Stilling that, eh? It's a bit of a risk to dart 2 animals at the same time, but since they're in a good position, we try that, take the risk. This one shouldn't take long before we go down now. We've got 2 buffalo down and only a few hours before sunset. We can only get the first buffalo loaded and released back on the main reserve after I completed surgery on the second buffalo. Just a little bit of bush sterilization. We're a little bit in a hurry because it is getting dark, and It's lying down for quite a bit. It did vomit a little bit, but not too badly. But it's not the best thing to happen. Just be careful if you go back with his head that he doesn't eat you, eh? Oops. I removed the growth so we can send it away to get analyzed. Now I have to get the buffalo stitched and wake him up. These stitches is nylon stitches, so they don't dissolve. So at a later stage you'll have to take it out. But to use dissolvable stitches in these animals that stay in the bush, they're just going to rub it out too soon. So I'd rather do it this way. Keep it down. Mark, hurry up there. You can see ticks are quite bad. It's not a major problem in buffalo, but since we've got the opportunity, we try and treat some of it. And then he's getting awake, so we need to wake him up quite soon. Okay, I'm just trying to give the intravenous injection here. Okay. Surgery went well with this buffalo. Now we have to get the first buffalo loaded as soon as possible before we run out of daylight.
Back on the main reserve, head ranger Andrew Carney is on a game drive in search of elephants.
This morning when we were coming into the lodge this morning, we picked up on some nice fresh elephant activity. So I'm going to start making my way off in that direction and see if we can pick up on any tracks and find those animals. Well, it's really getting quite hot at the moment, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be heading down to water. There they are over there. Wow, just look how many there are over there. It looks like those two bulls over there are going to go for a swim. We're witnessing basically a bunch of teenage delinquents here that are having a good old wrestling match. It's exactly the same as human children. The young kids with a swimming pool want to roughhouse and throw one another in the water and push and shove, and elephants are exactly the same. There's now 4 young bulls in the water. It's incredibly hot this time of year, so it's a perfect opportunity for them to cool down, and obviously it's a very social thing at the watering hole, and these guys are just having an absolute blast here. We don't often get to see these bulls doing this. This is undoubtedly one of the most exceptional sightings of elephants that I've ever witnessed in my life.
The wildlife team darted 2 buffalo in the breeding camp. One buffalo was treated successfully, but time is running out to get the other buffalo loaded and released on the main reserve before sunset.
Okay, on you ready?
The best way to load these buffalo is to get them on a stretcher, pull them with a rope right into the truck, This way, they can't hurt themselves or anybody else. Yeah, just slow, eh? Slow, Bruce. Hey, it's inside, but slow. Okay, Bruce, stop. That's all right. We've got this buffalo loaded. Now we have to wake it up and get it back to the main reserve. So we're going to give this injection intramuscular. I do not want him to stand up too quickly, but once they get to the other side, hopefully he will be on his feet. Right, all done. Mask off. Please take it out. We are going to release this bull in an area where there is most buffalo activity on the reserve. Hopefully he'll join up with the other buffalo, which will give him a much better chance of survival.
So we just loaded that one buffalo bull, and he's in the truck and on his way to the reserve.
It is so rewarding to see this bull released back to the reserve, knowing that he's going to add significant genetic diversity.
Early morning is the best time for buffalo sightings, and Johan is out on the reserve in search of the bull they released yesterday.
Oh, this is now really good. During the night it joined up with another bull. This is actually wonderful. It's only one night and they found each other. The reserve is 25,000 hectares, quite a big place. Just show you the senses of these animals.
Together, these two bulls have a better chance of survival, and hopefully they will join the rest of the herd soon.
So every year we lose approximately 1,100 rhino to poaching in South Africa. The worst thing is that often when a female rhino are poached, a cow, we lose more than one rhino because often she has a calf, and if the calf's left orphaned and we don't intervene, the calf can also die of starvation.
Back at the animal hospital, the team receives devastating news.
We just had a sad case this morning. One of the neighboring reserves had 3 rhino poached. Fortunately, one of them survived the poaching, but 2 of the adult cows are dead. But now the problem is, what do we do with the calves? It's quite difficult to handle these calves, and we've got some facilities, and we're going to try and assist these other guys with these rhino.
The one calf is about a year old, and I believe the other little one is only 3 months old. I'm going to be in charge of feeding these animals and just trying to obviously calm them down and get them to the point where they feed easily. And hopefully we can do a good job.
Now, ideally you put them together, but are we going to feed the swan if they're together? If we follow our first plan and we put the big one there,
Yeah.
you've got grass to eat, because he'll definitely eat, he eat a lot.
Yeah.
And we've got them next to each other here.
Yeah.
Try and feed the other one, and then we can always use that guy to split if we need to. And if the guys are in trouble over the weekend, you have to get them together, they might give you a call. We decided to keep the 2 calves separate because we have to bottle feed the small one. First we'll offload the older calf into a camp, and then we'll offload the smaller one into the holding boma.
Zit die rempels niet plek? Kijk, is dit aan de stap?
Did you only bring 2 bales, Louis?
Ja, ik get some more.
Wacht, let's see what pen we can. Move that one a bit and we just pack this.
Under his tail? Okay, there we go. Oh, that's good, that's good. Okay, he's out there, that's good.
The older calf is easier to handle because he can drink out of a trough and is already grazing.
Gonna come and pluck some one of us here.
I've seen this calf for the first time and your heart just breaks. How can anybody do this to such an amazing, incredible animal?
We keep her blindfolded to help her to relax. Luckily, she's taking the first bottle quite easily. Eric staan op die lappe side. And just might be able to feed it a little bit later again. Kun jy bykom? Wag, toe maar, sorry. Okay. So we can get the truck out of the way, close the door, get on with it.
This little calf is so incredibly brave right now. It's just lost its mother. And my heart goes out to this little thing. It's so devastating.
So we split the two animals now. If they're together, there's no possibility of bottle feeding the small one. And even the small one can hurt Pitlin quite substantially. I think we try and build some system for you that you can feed from the inside.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest we quickly build that, and then we try and feed it once more, take the blindfold off and see.
Okay, great.
We need to make a plan on how to bottle feed the calf without hurting Pitlin in the process. Okay, Bruce, shall we see what we can do here? We decided to make a ramp inside the boma with lucerne bales, which will be an easy exit point for Pitlin in case the rhino gets aggressive.
Okay, this should be fine. Now that I've got this place that I can feed her when she's fully awake, I can try and give her some more milk. Come on, there we go. There we go. Come, suck. Good girl. There we go. Found it.
Well, this is much better than I thought. You know, we always have got this urge to feed it too much and then we sit with the diarrhea, so I'd rather go a bit slower. I would almost say first thing in the morning now.
Yeah, first thing in the morning, and then what are you wanting? Every 2-4 hours?
See how it goes. You know, as long as we increase it gradually.
Yeah.
But if she don't drink at all, that's the big problem. I think what we're going to try now is feed it without the blindfold. I'm going to leave it that we don't talk to her, but without it. I'm very happy that she's drinking so well. Getting her used to Pitlin and her voice at this stage is very important.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to stay here and just sit there and talk to her now. Come, big girl. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Come, big girl. Right now, what she has just been through is unimaginable. I mean, I can't imagine what must be going through this little mind of hers. All I want is for her to get to know my voice, to get to know that I'm not a threat to her. And food, she's going to get love, and she's going to be looked after here. It's okay. It's okay. Come, big girl. Come smell. Come on, darling. Good girl. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. That's it. Good girl. All right. That's it. Smell. Good girl. This is definitely going to take time and patience. I'm going to spend as much time as I possibly can with her, get her used to my voice, and just be patient. Patience is what makes things like this work.
Go get this around its leg.
Next time on Shamwari Untamed, danger unfolds in the river.
Here we go.
Blade joins the anti-poaching team. It's feeding time for the orphaned calf.
Clearly the tranquilizers have worked their way out.
And bad weather puts the team's skills to the test.
Let's call him before we go down, Lucy.
Go get this around its leg.
Coming up on Shamwari Untamed. Danger unfolds in the river.
Here we go.
Blade joins the anti-poaching team. It's feeding time for the orphaned calf.
Clearly the tranquilizers have worked their way out.
And bad weather puts the team's skills to the test. The wildlife team have been informed about a dead rhino floating in the river, and they're on their way to investigate.
Gavin, you copy, Gavin? Okay, Gavin, just follow me through to the basement. We're going to stop there and then we'll try and sort out our plan, okay?
From my side, Johan, I think quickest way to find it, boat in the water.
Yeah, that's what I also
Go where it was last seen.
Yesterday, some of our personnel actually found a rhino floating in the river quite close to us here. So the best would be to go in with a little boat and see whether we can drag it to some place where we can do a proper post-mortem on it. It's going to be a bit of a mission because the river banks are fairly steep and it's very badly overgrown, but we'll see what plan we can make. Bit of a risky business because there's lines close by. There's quite a lot of hippo in the river, but that's the only option we've got.
375, couple of straps. There we go. 3 people in the boat because 2 need to paddle and 1 needs to look for hippo.
There has been quite a bit of infighting amongst our rhino over the last few weeks and months. We haven't picked up any suspicious activity on our patrols over the last few days. So I'm quite confident that this is not a
poaching incident, but then one never knows.
The only way to determine the cause of death is to do a post-mortem. But first, they have to get this 2-ton animal out of the water.
It does look like a gun.
The hippo's very badly decomposed, but we still have to get it out of the water. You gotta get this around its leg, okay? Coming right there.
Look out for hippo.
Yeah, that's.
There are still bubbles over there.
Yeah, don't you worry. You just get it on the leg. Is it on? Okay, and then you're gonna have to paddle. John, can you paddle too? All over the place, yeah.
The most important reason why we have to do this post-mortem is to either rule out poaching or to determine whether we are dealing with a killer bull.
Hey.
Bruce, unfortunately it's rotten, but we'll have to look for bullets, you know.
Yeah.
It seems the horns is not cut off because we can see the skull is solid, but it's not impossible that the animal was wounded before he went into the river.
See first if this goes under, Raymond.
You have to cut like that. Just be careful for a finger on you. It's dissected open now, basically to the end, and there's no bullet, but I think it's a horn that went in quite deep. It might be one of many.
Yeah.
That's typical of a rhino that's running away from another one. And we can assume it's a young bull, that it was followed by a big bull and the rest, and most probably that bull even chased him into the river. So luckily this rhino was not poached, but we still have a problem on hand. There's an aggressive black rhino bull on the reserve that's been fighting with other rhino and even killing them. We have to find the troublemaker, de-horn him, and then moving to another part of the reserve where there's less rhino activity.
Black rhino habitat is dense bush, and identifying a specific problem animal is no easy task. The team have narrowed down an area where they believe the problem bull is located. Now the only problem is spotting him in the thickets. With Johan in the helicopter and the rest of the team on the ground, they managed to successfully dart the problem rhino bull. The team are removing the sharp tip of the bull's horn to stop him from stabbing and killing more rhino on the reserve. A rhino's horn is made of keratin, so it will grow back.
We will keep this rhino in the bomas for some time, which will hopefully help him to forget his bad habits.
Today, a new member is joining the anti-poaching unit.
Our newest anti-poaching member is a Belgian Malinois tracking dog named Blade.
Doen wat jy wil doen.
Blade's current trainer, Aiden Lipstra, will be teaching Caboose, one of our anti-poaching scouts, to become Blade's new handler.
Sit.
Over the next 5 weeks, Aiden will be training Caboose and Blade in various exercises, starting with building their relationship and ball drive.
Let's just clip this one on. Hello, boy. Hello, boy. What's that?
Is it too tight or?
But it's not too loose. It's not going to pop over his head.
I think it's going to be challenging getting him to trust me and to win his loyalty. Here we go. In the next few weeks, I'm confident that we'll build a strong bond.
And good boy. Tell him good boy.
Mooi, Blade. Kom eens als
That's a good boy. And when he comes to praise him.
Hier. Hierzo. Blade, hierzo. Blade.
Okay, boy. Okay.
Hierzo, Blade.
He just needs to get to know you.
Hierzo. Hierzo. It's difficult to get Blade to keep his attention on me, but I'm sure everything will come right.
Okay, go with him.
Kom!
There you go.
Hierzo was die ball. Hierzo.
Make it alive again. Get it.
Go, mooi.
Okay, a short one. Go.
Mooi.
Short.
Let's go. Kom, Blade.
Hey,
Mooi,
good boy.
Sian.
Just
Kom
praise
eens
him.
op.
Good boy.
Mooi.
Go up to him and praise him.
Mooi, Sian. Mooi.
Okay, all right.
Mooi.
Put him away.
Was die bal?
Put him
Hier.
away whilst he's carrying.
Let's go.
Okay, hold him short. Run.
hop, 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 hop. Mooi.
Get ready to unclip.
Gaan in.
Okay, push the bum in a bit. There you
Mooi,
go.
Sean.
There you go.
Blade will be staying with Caboose so that they can spend most of their time together to form a much-needed bond between the two of them.
Kom, Blade. Verhaag. Kom af. Okay.
Okay, we're
Let's go
off
around this side. Kom.
Okay. Okay, go in with him.
Kom. Remove the choke chain as well, eh?
Yes, I just want to close here.
There we go. It's your new home, Blade. Hey, kom hier zo. Hallo, Blade. No, it's your nieuwe huis hier. It's your new home.
You're now new, it's a new environment, so everything is new. And we want to get the bond with you as soon as possible and as strong as possible. If he starts making a bit of noise, barking, even howling, that's to be expected because he's out of his comfort, and so feel free to take him inside.
Okay.
Because the more you put into it, especially having him in your room tonight and for many, many other nights, that will
Kom hier zo.
expedite the process.
Oh, dat is lekker. Dat is lekker, ja.
Let him chill by himself for a little bit.
Starting to like me now, huh? I'm excited about this upcoming few weeks to train with Blade, and I'm sure he will contribute a lot to APU work.
Leave him for a little bit. Let him sniff, and he'll probably lift his leg on everything and
Mark his territory.
yeah.
The problem rhino has been in the bomas for 2 weeks. Heavy rain turned the boma into a mud bath, which is a huge concern, as the bull can easily slide and hurt himself. So the team have to release him sooner than expected.
Voilà. Okay.
This is not the ideal weather to load rhino in. It's very muddy, and there's a great potential that we could get our machinery stuck.
This black rhino unfortunately became quite aggressive on the reserve. He hurt a female quite badly and injured another bull. And what we've done is we put him in the boma, cut the horn off, and he needed to be released right in the north. We needed to keep him a little bit longer, but we had a lot of rain here and the bomas became exceptionally muddy. And unfortunately, it's not possible to keep the animals in these muddy conditions here. It might be quite tricky to get him out of this. I think let's just get going and see how it goes. Bruce, just a little sound there. We're going to go down and try and see if we can get him in the crate before we go completely down.
I'm trying to lure the rhino into the crate by means of a flag, but he keeps turning around, so it's just not working.
Yeah. It's gonna go down soon though. Come on. Come.
Okay, this didn't go according to plan. We hope that we could walk him right into the crate. Being a black rhino, I'm quite hesitant just to give him butorphanol and walk him in there. We had accidents before, so the best safe is going to be we drag him in there. So let's see how it goes. Okay.
Joseph, sit 'n step onder hy kop. Jy moet hy kop ophou, anders gaan hy oë in die grond wees. Slowly. There you go.
Your legs must push forward and then we must try and lift him up a little bit if we can.
Okay.
Pull it in, we see how it goes.
The rhino's lying sideways, which makes it very difficult to fit it into the crate. So we're going to have to just try and maneuver him carefully. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
One more.
One more. Nog een. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. The rhino simply won't fit sideways, so we're going to have to make another plan. The only option now is to load it onto the truck without the crate. This can quickly become a very dangerous situation, but that is Johan's problem.
Basically everything went wrong. In Afrikaans we say boer maak 'n plan, that means you always make a plan.
The safety of the team as well as the rhino are now in Johan's hands. Usually the anaesthetic lasts for about an hour, so Johan has to keep a close eye on the rhino to ensure that he stays anaesthetized. If the rhino wakes up unexpectedly, it will result in even more chaos. A crane is used to load the rhino onto the truck, and they are securing the rhino with straps to prevent him from sliding off the truck while driving.
We're not out of danger, but hopefully we get there safe. I need to tranquilize it a little bit, but we're at risk that he stop breathing. So I'm going to travel with a truck. Transporting a rhino in an open truck without a crate is quite risky, but today we've got no other option.
Right, so we eventually got the rhino loaded onto our crane truck. It's hell of a muddy today, so we're just going to try and go past the crane truck now with the rhino on and try and find a good place to go and offload. I'm a bit concerned though because it's quite wet where we're going, so we need to try and find a good area where it's dry, where we're not going to get stuck. Yo, go. The weather is just bringing one problem after another. The truck is now stuck in the mud with a 2-ton rhino on it.
I'll just get that leg out the way.
We're not going to get this truck out of the mud. The rhino has been anaesthetized for too long. We have to offload this rhino right here, right now. We cannot move the truck, so we're going to try and lure the rhino away by provoking him with my vehicle as soon as he gets awake. Bruce, I think I'm going to take my chances now and wake him up intravenous, but we get him away here. Okay, if we move that way, you need to get out of the way. We're going to try and get the rhino to follow us. No. A bit of a close shave, but we got him away from the truck.
Last week, 3 rhinos were poached on a neighbouring reserve. To make matters worse, 2 calves were orphaned in this incident and are too young to survive on their own. They were brought to the Animal Rehabilitation Centre, where Peter Lynn took on the responsibility of being their new foster mum. The younger calf still needs to be bottle fed, and with the help of tranquilizers, it's been going really well. But as it wears off, feeding time can get extremely challenging. For Peter Lynn's safety, the team built a ramp out of hay bales where she can safely interact with the calf.
It's okay. Come, big girl.
This rhino weighs around 400 pounds and can crush Peter Lynn in an instant. It's a new day, and it's time for Peter Lynn to feed the little baby calf.
Hello, big girl. This is the first time I'll be feeding her without being tranquilized. The last time that she had any form of human interaction without being tranquilized was when the poachers brutally killed her mother. So she's obviously terrified and really frightened. Come, big girl. Breakfast time, babes. Come on. Come, big girl. Okay, it looks like she's broken down the bales that I was using yesterday to get to her. Until we can sort that out, I think I'm going to go and try and feed her through the sliding door there. We did make a plan for exactly the scenario. So let me go and try that. Come, sweetie. All right, big girl. It's okay. I know you're frightened. I just want to feed you. It's okay. Yeah, this morning's going to be a very different scenario. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. We're actually going to stop what we're doing now because this is too stressful. Clearly the tranquilizers have worked their way out. Obviously I've got to get milk into her. I may just try and get her to come to one of the poles and see if I can feed her through there. Let's see what we can do. All right, sweetheart, I don't want you to hurt yourself. Come, big girl. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Come, big girl. I know you're frightened. I'm going to phone Bruce and see what other plan we can make. The hay bales, in retrospect, thank goodness, they were broken down, because I think if I'd gone in there this morning, they would have exploded with that little charge of hers. But yeah, right now I think she's just exceptionally terrified, which we can all understand, you know.
Peter's really battling to get this rhino calf to feed. Johan's not here, so he can't help out. But I think the calf will calm down if we get a friend and introduce them to each other. So we're on our way to our neighbor to get a young sheep, and we're going to put them together to form a bond. This rhino seems to be quite stressed, and I can really understand it. She's a young rhino and without a mother. Yesterday she witnessed her mother being poached, so at least if we can get something that she can sort of associate with, I think it'll be a really good move just to get her to relax down a bit. We have had very good success in the past by introducing sheep as companions to both rhino calves and baby elephant. Ja, bring maar nie die. Ja. Okay, kan ons probeer. Okay, kom ons sit hom hier in. Now that I have the sheep, I'll head back to the hospital where we can actually introduce him to the rhino calf. From what we've seen in the past, there's no real specific age or sex or anything like that we've seen works better than others. This rhino is only going to be an adult at 7 years. It's 3 months now, so the sheep has to be with him for quite a period of time. So that's why we're going for a youngster, and then males, because that's what the farmers are happy to part with. You know, the females are their breeding stock. So see what happens. Although the sheep will calm the rhino down, it's not going to happen instantly. And at this point, the most important thing is to get the rhino to feed, otherwise it's just not going to survive. As Johan's not available at the moment, I've called another vet, Luca Mendes, to come and help us. I don't know if you can give it some AccuPhase or anything. I don't know if it's too young for that.
Well, I spoke to some guys up north who are handling quite a few white rhinos. They did say that they use AccuPhase quite routinely there
in
on
young,
those wild-caught orphan rhino situations, and even from like 2 months old, and they don't have issues.
How long does AccuPhase last?
Lasts about 3 days in rhino.
Look,
Yeah,
by
I
3
reckon by
days.
3 days
by
she'll
3
be
days she
fine.
should be fine. Yeah. Luca's going to dart the rhino with a anesthetic, and once she's completely down, give her the tranquilizer. The reason we needed to anesthetize the rhino calf before giving the tranquilizer is that we also wanted to put a blindfold on just to assist with the feeding. Okay, that's fine.
Now that she's got the tranquilizer in her system, Luca can reverse the anesthetic and I can try and feed her again.
And what happens if we all leave her and just fiddle in there? Try that.
We can't always have 4 people here to help me. She's an incredibly strong animal, but I've really got to try and get this done on my own.
No. Okay.
Seriously strong. She'll eventually get used to me, but I think for now, I've just got to give her a break and we'll try again later.
Even though she's only 3 months old, she's still too dangerous for us to go in there and try and feed her if she's aggressive like she was this morning. So now she's got her tranquilizers. She's also got the blindfold on. So Pedlin will try and feed her in about an hour's time again. And then if that feeding goes well, we'll take the blindfold off. I think it's time to introduce the sheep to the rhino. And then what we'll do is give them some space just so they can get to know each other in their own time.
I think we need to take those top bales off.
Hopefully the sheep will calm down soon. Look, generally speaking, it shouldn't take long, and the two of them will relax in each other's company, and then eventually the rhino will have some company, because, you know, at the end of the day, the rhino will be spending time alone, and for a youngster like that, without any company, must be quite daunting.
Next time on Shamwari Untamed, the team gets face to face with a pride of lions. John hopes to make progress on the leopard's release.
It's really about exposing it to habituation.
Come on, aren't you guys come? It's dinner time.
It's feeding time for our furry friends.
So where's the gate?
And an elephant causes havoc on the reserve.
Yep, I can see him. John, he's down, eh?
Coming up on Shamwari Untamed, the team gets face to face with a pride of lions. John hopes to make progress on the leopard's release.
Really about exposing it to habituation.
Come on, out you guys come. It's dinner time.
It's feeding time for our furry friends.
So where's the gate?
And an elephant causes havoc on the reserve.
Yep, I can see him. John, he's down, eh?
Shamwari is home to 2 predominant lion prides. In order to maintain a healthy genetic diversity and to keep their numbers under control, the team has to manage their breeding. For these reasons, a contraceptive will be used on certain lionesses to prohibit them from having offspring for 18 to 24 months. Anya Truter leads the lion monitoring program, and she has to identify which lionesses can be contracepted.
The Northern Lion Pride, they basically consist of 10 animals, of which 9 of them are females, and then there's only 1 young male. I've made a profile on each lion, and basically what I try and look at is these little lines on the whisker line. It's like a little fingerprint, and they're each different. But some of them have got scars or lines on their body, which you can see the difference between the lines. So the one female, she mated with the male lion now about a week ago. So obviously we won't be able to do that. The only ones that we could do is Lataba, which is this female here. And then there's another young female. She's about 2 years old now. Her name is Baluli.
In order to dart these lions, we have to get them into the open. Now we have a trick up our sleeve. The plan is to tie a carcass to a tree, play animal distress calls, and hopefully that will lure them into the open.
So we put a carcass here and we're going to try and attract them with animal distress calls. And if they come out and they start feeding, that'll then give us the opportunity to dart. The positive is that they looked like they were hunting. That's why they moved so far. So they're hungry, you know. Okay, we've got the caller just in this little bush. It's only a few meters away from the carcass. If they come to the noise, they should see the carcass. So let's hope it works.
The distress call has alerted the pride, and they waste no time rushing to the carcass. The challenge now is to identify the correct lionesses.
Okay, they won't take long to finish that carcass, eh? That one on the left, Anya, on the far left, that's facing us sideways. The paw up, she's not one.
The one sitting up?
That's Oma. Okay, we're close enough, eh? Anya, you can't see which it is. Which one?
The second female on the left-hand side.
So behind that one, John.
Yeah.
Okay, there, I'm going to take my shot, eh?
You go for it, John. It's the male's backside's in the way. Sure, let's go on to the next one and sort out the next one.
Yeah, it's difficult, eh? Okay, what about that one with the scar on his face?
Okay, yeah, and it should be that one there.
Okay, the one right at the back, eh? The left to the back.
I'm going to go for that one at the back. Go for it, go for it. back.
Yeah. Just hope they don't come today. No.
I'm going to just back further down where we can still see them. Okay.
Yeah.
The one in front is the one we did first, if that is it.
Yeah, that one that's standing there looking is the first one we did.
Yeah, but the other one is going just behind her. Eh?
Where is it?
Yeah. I'm sure there's a line missing here. Shall we just drive closer and see if there's not one lying in between or behind them or something there? Okay, there's 8, one walked away, so there's one missing. Oh, there behind is one sleeping.
There's one sleeping.
Is it aligned that, eh?
Let me just triple check for you, but it certainly looks like it. Okay. I can only see the colour and the texture. Okay, should we try and get them off?
After the 2 lionesses have been successfully darted, they have to get the rest of the pride to move off before the contraceptives can be done.
Working in the bush with lions can quickly turn dangerous, and we've had some close calls in the past.
Okay, somebody's going to have to give a good look up.
Okay, these are the contraceptives. That's Supladorn, and every lion have to get a double dosage of this. It's highly unlikely that they'll pull it out, but sometimes a lion manages to scratch out or lick out something, and what we do is we give the injection here, put the implant in between the shoulder blades. That is the one. So that's both done. We can actually see there's one of the lions looking at us right there. Right in between the shoulder blades, just behind there, right through the skin. But make sure you can feel it sliding deep in. Go a little bit deeper. You must push harder.
Okay.
Okay, you feel it through, eh? Okay. The reason why we do this contraception is because lions breed quite well. And if lions keep on breeding, we're going to have too many for the reserves. Unfortunately, we do have to manage them. So the contraception we use in these lions is not permanently. We contracept these lions for one period, and then we would allow them to breed, and we contracept some of the others. The other issue is the issue of inbreeding. So somewhere along the line, we have to change males between reserves. So this one is done. The only thing is that we must do is make sure that we can identify her later. We're going to use a simple way of branding these animals. It's a very superficial burn that leave a very superficial scar. So we can just see when these lions were feeding now. Obviously there was a bit of argument here, and one got a nail in there and they cut the skin open. Now it looks bad, it's through the skin, but in lions it's very normal. This burning method that we use is not really worse than this. So it looks cruel, but it's definitely not at all. And it's just a way that we can manage these animals in future and know what we're doing. And now for the antidote, this is the antecedent. So we're going to give a deep intramuscular injection, and then it shouldn't take too long before they wake up. Just do the other one. In this case, we gave an antidote. We wanted to wake it up. If we leave them in the veld and the others come towards them, they might fight. They will often bite the animal that's half anesthetized. Quite interesting. You can see there's some other lions coming now. They're not completely awake as yet. So let's see what happens. This lioness is taking some time to wake up, but fortunately the other lions are affectionate. So both of them are up. This one is still a little bit groggy. That other one actually got up very nicely, but it actually went well. She slept a bit longer than I thought, but not really a problem.
Recently, the team introduced a new male leopard onto Shamwari to improve the genetic diversity of the resident leopard population. The leopard has been released into a temporary enclosure in order to habituate him to the new surroundings before his release onto the main reserve. For the next 6 weeks, he has to be fed and monitored closely, and John invented creative methods to get him accustomed to his new home.
We've fed this leopard a few times now, and it's really coming on nicely to the food. I'm going to take a cage trap and put it nearby the bomas for him to get used to it, and then feed him in there, and then he'll get used to walking in and out. So in the event of him getting out of the reserve, escaping, being in a situation where we're not comfortable, what we could always do is, because he's used to being, if you want, called for feeding, we could call him, and because he's used to going into a cage trap, we could hopefully get him back. Yeah, obviously here we've got to try and work as quietly as possible. Sometimes I don't think, maybe I should have brought somebody to help me take this thing off. Can I explain to you how dangerous it is working in the bush? Yeah. And you thought the animals were dangerous. Here, it's a really small hole, but you'll be surprised where a leopard can get through. So we're just sort of putting a little bit of a deterrent in there, and then I think we're done.
While John leaves the leopard to get familiarized with the cage trap, it's feeding time for Megan's furry friends at the Animal Rehabilitation Centre.
Dinner time! Hey, come on, guys. Come on, out you guys come. It's dinner time. Hey, my Sarah. Come on, guys. Come on, Freddie. Hey. Out of the 5 jackals, we actually only have 3 left. Unfortunately, 2 of them did pass away. But in the wild, generally a whole pack of puppies won't survive. So we've clearly got the strongest 3 out of the litter. Obviously not the greatest to lose these little monsters, but unfortunately that's part of what happens when you look after these animals. Come on, Sarah. So we got this little house for them, which kind of replicates a den, which is really great so that they can go under the ground and then into something dark. But they don't like coming outside. Hey, the Freddie in particular has become very shy the last couple of weeks. So we're just going to lift up the house. Here's my boy, it's okay. Hey. Because they actually need to come in for dinner. Come, guys. Come on, let's go home for dinner. Let's go home. Come on. Hey, let's go home. Come, puppies. Come, puppies. Come, my love. Come on. Come. Alright, so Teddy's getting fed first. They get fed 30 grams of mincemeat 3 times a day. And we're also giving them pellets to eat when they want. But he's not going to eat for you because he's scared of me. Come, my boy. Oh, gosh. You are the biggest flippin' baby in this world. I generally try to feed each puppy individually so that I can regulate the amount of food that they get. But this little monster is going to need some encouragement, so I'm going to have to feed with the other puppies, which is a good thing because in the wild they would normally have to compete over the food that they would be eating. And now you're all gonna fight for it. No, you can't eat. You can't eat. How are we gonna control the food? Okay, so Freddie ate. Let me get more. Okay, who's next? You've had. Come on, girlie. Come on, little girl. Hey. Hey, you get extra spoiled. Okay, your brother's coming. Are you gonna eat? Okay, now you ate. This is just gonna be chaos again, isn't it? Hey. Okay, you can help motivate your brother. There we go. There we go. You can see now that they're starting to get their black on their back. Their tails have gone black, and they're getting a bit of a silver tinge to their coat. So they're becoming real little jackal pups. Love you guys. Okay, go to sleep. They're now ready for a night of fun because obviously jackals are nocturnal, so they are up all night playing. So I'm going to close up here and say good night. Night, my loves.
It's been 2 days since John left the cage trap in the leopard's enclosure, and it's now time to put it to the test.
Okay, the secret while this leopard's in the boma is to rather feed it more often smaller pieces than feed it a full carcass, once a week. And it's really about exposing it to habituation. And it's all about getting it used to the whistle, the cage trap, and that's really to protect itself. So let's see how it's working today. A little bit primitive, but sometimes the primitive things work the best. Okay, let's see. I like to keep it as far back as possible to encourage him to come right into the trap to feed. Otherwise what he can do is he can just stretch from the front, and you can actually stretch quite a long way. Alright, that should do it. Just over 2 minutes for him to come and fetch the meat, so I'm very happy, and I think he's almost ready for release now.
While out on the reserve, John decides to search for an elephant bull that needs some special attention.
I'm looking for a specific elephant bull that has been vaccinated and is due his second vaccination as part of an ongoing national trial in elephant contraception. One of the positives of this is reduced testosterone, which means less aggression and less aberrant elephant behavior.
It certainly looks like it.
But you can see he's just sort of coming out of must. See that temporal secretion coming down the side of the face there. But it's not strong. He's relaxed. So this is the guy we're looking for. Now at least we know where to start tomorrow morning. Interesting thing is going to be how far he travels during the course of the night.
Elephant bulls go through reproductive cycles where their blood testosterone levels rise. During this time, bulls are aggressive and extreme caution has to be taken. Veterinarian Johan decides to administer a vaccine which acts as a contraceptive and helps to reduce this aggressive behavior.
It seems that one of the specific bulls, when you get in must, you get quite almost like excited, and it's developing quite a bad habit of breaking gates and moving into either lodges or homesteads. We've injected him once with Improvac to try and get the testosterone levels down, and we have to repeat that. Unfortunately, it seems that he's quite in difficult terrain. Is that him? This is the same bull that we treated a month ago. Now, the treatment is not a single treatment. It's quite a few injections that we have to give. We were meant to repeat it already 2 weeks ago, but we just could not find him. So where's the gate?
No, you see, the elephant trashed the gate completely.
The gate completely gone.
The gate's completely gone, bent and everything. So what we're doing now is we're just electrifying the inside of this as well.
Okay.
So it's like a second barrier. We fixed this gate last night and it's broken again this morning.
Yeah, look, I mean, the problem is how many times is it coming here now?
Yeah, this is probably about the 6th or 7th time, right?
Johan has to dart the elephant, and once he is asleep, they can take blood samples and inject the vaccine.
Can't I hear him here? Right here.
No, right here.
The problem is after we darted, it's quite dense thicket there.
If you had to go in the back, then you've got both sides. You can also see higher, and you can tell me when to go. Just hold tight if I pull off. Eh?
Yeah, that's just almost shout if you're going to pull off. Huh? Just below us, eh? Yeah, just by below, just this thick dark tree. Go, you can go back more into this bush. Well, okay. Yes, John, there's a twig I hope I'm going to miss it, eh? I've got a small spot to try and shoot through, eh? And it's facing the right way. Yep, I can see him. Just go under that twig there. Okay. We can actually hear him just behind this closest acacia, but it's very dense there. So we've got a couple of risks. The one is that we don't know where to go down. We'll have to listen, and we'll most probably hear him falling, and then we know he's down. Otherwise, it's dangerous to walk in. The other issue is if you go down in a bad position there, like on his breast, or perhaps with his trunk against the tree, he might not be able to breathe. But I'm quite sure in this thicket just behind this acacia tree.
Yeah, in this little gap.
Yeah, I think it's actually in the riverbed. Yeah.
Before moving in, Johan and John have to be certain that he is asleep, as this 5-ton animal can kill them in an instant.
I can hear him breathing in there. It's almost like he's down already.
I wonder if he didn't go down in his chest.
Should I quickly go around him? Looks like he's down. So he hasn't got any obscured trunk or anything.
Yeah, no.
So it doesn't harm to give it just a few more minutes, you know?
Oh, that'll be safe then, sorry.
Yeah.
John? John? He's down, eh? To facilitate breathing, we want him to lie sideways, not on his chest, but he's sort of in between. John and I will definitely not be able to move this elephant on our own, so we just have to work as quick as possible.
Okay, so bloods, injection and antidote, that's it?
Yeah. John, I think if you can just help me with this ear. Okay, these blood samples we're taking to measure his testosterone levels. He only had 1 Improvac injection, so theoretically I think it's still going to be high. But most probably after this injection, the level should go down. That's it. Now the Improvac, and then we wake him up, eh? I usually give the antidote intramuscular, so the animal wakes up slower and we have more time to get out of the way. Since he's lying awkwardly, I decided to give it intravenous, which means we need to get out of the way quickly. Okay. I think let's go.
Over the next few weeks, the behavioral patterns of this elephant will be monitored closely to indicate the effectiveness of the vaccine.
Stood up, he's on his feet, huh?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Next time on Shamwari Untamed, Blade's training continues. Noel's territory gets a lot bigger.
She's clearly not going to be coaxed out.
Today we bring in 2 lions from one of the neighbouring reserves.
New additions to the lion prides arrive.
Always be safe.
There's a dead hippo in the river.
We made a very primitive capture site for the hippo.
And Johan finds himself in a tricky situation.